So Donald Trump is not even in office yet, and Donald Trump is taking on everyone. He's taking on China, Mexico, Canada, and now Donald Trump is even talking about the United States of America taking over the Panama Canal. Why would Donald Trump want to do this? And is this possible? That is what I'd like to talk about today, so let's talk about it. Over the weekend at a conservative-held event, Donald Trump seemed to be trying to rile up his base, talking about his agenda and what he expects to do when inaugurated in January. And this no one saw coming when Donald Trump suddenly started to talk about Panama and the idea of America being robbed by Panama, being overcharged with the use of the Panama Canal. And in that speech, Donald Trump also said that he thinks that America should take over control of the Panama Canal. Let's take a look.
Ripped off at the Panama Canal like we're being ripped off everywhere else. A secure, he just said take it back. And that's a good idea. When they gave it to Panama, can you believe that? We would never have done it if we thought what's happening now can happen, and we would never, and we will never, ever let it fall into the wrong hands. But it's falling into the wrong hands. It was not given for the benefit of others by a token of cooperation, but it was given to Panama and to the people of Panama, but it has provisions. You got to treat us fairly, and they haven't treated us fairly. If the principles, both moral and legal, of this magnanimous gesture of giving are not followed, then we will demand that the Panama Canal be returned to the United States of America in full, quickly, and without question. I'm not going to stand for it. So to the officials of Panama, please be guided accordingly. When President Jimmy Carter foolishly gave it away for $1. During his term in office, it was solely for Panama to manage and not for China or any other country to manage. You see what's going on there? China.
Quiero expresar de manera precisa que cada metro cuadrado del Canal de Panamá y su zona adyacente es de Panamá y lo seguirá siendo. La soberanía e independencia de nuestro país no son negociables. Las tarifas no son un capricho. Se establecen de manera pública y en audiencia abierta, considerando las condiciones del mercado, la competencia internacional, los costos operativos y las necesidades de mantenimiento y modernización de la vía interoceánica. El canal no tiene control directo o indirecto ni de China, ni de la Comunidad Europea, ni de Estados Unidos o de...
So, what are my thoughts about this? Well, my thought is that I believe that the media's reaction to this news from Donald Trump is a bit disingenuous because this is not something new. This is America politics. This is geopolitics. And I believe that Panama is just caught up in the middle of what's going on between America and China. And this is not new because we saw in Donald Trump's last administration where the ambassador to Jamaica threatened the Jamaican government when they were talking about the Chinese 5G network. And so this is not surprising to me that when we see the relationship with China and the Caribbean, this is no surprise that Donald Trump would come and do something like this. And this is all just, as I said, geopolitics. The American government does not want to lose control of the Caribbean and of Latin America. And that is not even just Donald Trump. I believe that under any administration, when they see China is spending billions of dollars in the Caribbean. They're spending billions of dollars in Africa. But when you look at the location, the proximity between like a place like Panama, a place like Jamaica, a place like Trinidad and Tobago, I am sure the American government is watching every single thing that is going on in the Caribbean. And this is not new. So I'm not surprised about this. But my thought about this is that the American government, the relationship with the Caribbean has to be better. Like in the past 50 years, it's the relationship between the Caribbean and America, it's almost like non-existent. I'm not saying that the Caribbean don't benefit from America, because obviously America is our biggest trading partner in the Caribbean. But if you look at most of the trade, it's not even comparable. It's like a one-way trade. Most of the things that we consume in the Caribbean today comes from America. So when you look at the import export, it's not even comparable. We also benefit a lot from tourism, because about 75% of tourists that comes to the Caribbean, they come from America. So we also benefit from that. But what I'm talking about is the development that is taking place in the Caribbean. And if you look in the past 30 years, you will see like China is playing a very integral role in terms of the development of the Caribbean. You look at the highway network in Jamaica, that is China. You look at a lot of the hospitals across the Caribbean, a lot of the schools across the Caribbean, that is China. And people, the leaders across the Caribbean, in the time that we're living in, they're choosing to go with China because of the type of relationship with the IMF where it is more favorable, according to a lot of the leaders, to do business with China than even to take money from the IMF. So you can't blame the leaders in the Caribbean for going that way, for having a partner that they can get, good loans from. They don't interfere with their politics. They're like, you do you, we're just doing business. And that is the type of relationship that the Caribbean is having with China. So this is going to be very interesting going forward to see like the relationship with China and different Caribbean islands, and see, not just because I believe that not only the Donald Trump administration, but I believe that this could become a problem even long after Donald Trump. And that is going to be interesting to see. So can Donald Trump really take back the Panama Canal? I would say no to that. No, because the reality is that the Panama Canal is in Panama. Panama is a sovereign country. America does not own Panama. So the only way Donald Trump could really go and take control over the canal is if they invade. And that would be crazy for a president that, won the election on like not wanting to start any new wars, not wanting to invade the country, a president that opposed to Russia trying to take a part of Ukraine. That would look so hypocritical, like if you should try to go in now and take Panama. So do I believe that that's going to happen? No, not for a second. I believe that Donald Trump could go in and could try and take over the Panama Canal. And you see the response from the Panamanian people, from the president. They're 10 toes down, that they're a sovereign state, and Donald Trump is not going to come and interrupt what they have in Panama. So I don't think it's going to happen. And just to be clear, the American government controlled the canal for roughly 85 years. So the American government, yes, the Americans were the one that constructed the canal. The Americans were the one that spent over $300 million to build the Panama Canal. The labor force, over 25,000 people died just for that canal to be completed. And as I said, over $300 million spent on it. But the American government made billions, trillions of dollars when they controlled that canal for over 85 years. And not until a lot of protests, because what seemed to be an occupation in Panama that was linked to the canal, not until years of protests. Then President Jimmy Carter at the time, decided that they would sign over the canal to the Panamanian people. And it is in there, it is in Panama. America does not own Panama. And these type of contracts are not new, because even some of the contracts that we see with China building highways, like China building highways in Jamaica, and they take control of the highway for at least 50 years. And then the highway is handed over to the government. So it's pretty much similar to that. We build a canal. It's a business deal. We control it for close to 100 years. And then we make trillions of dollars over it. And then we hand it over to you. And it is a business deal. So it is going to be very interesting to see like where this goes. So guys, sound off in the comment section and let me know, what do you think about this? Do you think Donald Trump is just trolling? Do you think he's just being mischievous? Or do you think Donald Trump is serious about this? And if he's serious, do you think it is possible that America would take over the Panama Canal again? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing details. And remember, peace. I'm out. Time decided that they would sign